Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. My name is Dana and I am so excited to be sharing my love of makeup and beauty with you all. If you've watched a few of my videos, you know that the majority of my collection tends to be higher end makeup. And I think a lot of people assume that because I have mostly higher end makeup that I don't like drugstore makeup, or even that I'm a little bit snooty with my makeup, and I personally don't think that's true. I have a lot of things that I really like at the drugstore, and it's definitely one of my favorite things to find a good quality makeup product for an affordable price. So today I wanted to share with you some of my favorites. I have 10 items here that come from either the drugstore or that affordable drugstore price range. Not all of these are available at my local drugstore. Some of them I do have to buy online. So they may or may not be available at your local drugstore, but they are in that affordable price range, at least in North America. They're not really in any particular order, so I'm just gonna jump in. First, I have the ColourPop eyeshadow palettes. I personally love these little 9 pans that come in the cardboard packaging. I have Little Ray of Sunshine and the Child here, but I also have tons of other ColourPop palettes in bigger and smaller formats as well, including some of their quads all the way up to, I think the biggest one I had was an 18 pan. I love these. I think they're great. They have really, really good pigmentation, and generally they're very consistent, although typically ColourPop does a better job of their staple main line of makeup than they do of their collaborations, but that's not always the case. This guy's a collaboration and it's definitely my favorite, but I think they're really, really good, and they're quite affordable. They range sort of, I think, about 10 to 15 US dollars each, so they're sort of in that higher end for the drugstore price range. But really, they're so good, and they definitely rival high-end palettes. So if you're looking for a higher end palette with a low price tag, ColourPop is it. I definitely recommend checking them out. Next, if you have oily skin and you're looking for a good mattifying powder that can be used during your makeup application or throughout the day, I really recommend the e.l.f. Perfect Finish HD powder. I have the pressed version. It just looks like that. It's very white, but it is actually translucent, although some people with much deeper skin tones might get a white cast. I've never experienced that, but obviously I'm very pale. I recognize that I am not the authority on those things. But this is a really, really good powder. It sits really well throughout the day. It looks very nice. It can go on easily with a brush or a sponge. It can be applied throughout the day. And the pressed version is really easy to take it with you in your purse or your backpack. Super easy. I love this stuff, and I think it's like $6. It's also really accessible in North America. I can find it pretty easily in Canada, and in the States, obviously, it's very easy to find. Next is a product I don't physically have with me because I ran out and I'm trying to use up other things before I repurchase, but that is the NYX Epic Ink Eyeliner. These eyeliner pens are phenomenal. They are so bold, they're so rich, they go on so easily, they are a brush tip, so they're actually pretty easy to get a wing with if you're into the winged eyeliner like I am. I really like this stuff. I find they don't budge super easily. Maybe they're not quite as waterproof as, say, the KVD tattoo liners are, but they work really, really well, and they're so affordable. The only issue I have with these is you do kind of have to store them standing up, like in a brush holder or something, like vertically. If they lay down for too long, they tend to leak, which is kind of annoying, but I mean, you can make it work, it's okay. The Essence Make Me Brow is a really, really good dupe for the Benefit Gimme Brow, but for way cheaper. Unfortunately, this one doesn't come in as many colors. I believe this one comes in only 3, whereas Gimme Brow, I think, comes in 10. So there's more color options. One nice thing though is this is a little bit sheerer than the Benefit one, so you can use it on a few more hair colors without it looking weird. But it does have those little fibers in it like Gimme Brow does. It really helps to give volume, it locks your brows in place, it adds a little bit of color. I really, really like this stuff. If these work for your brow color, if these suit your brow color, these are great. I recommend them. While we're on the topic of Essence, I can't not mention their mascaras. I have What the Fake here, but I've used many of them before. My favorite is actually Princess Lash, the original, but all of the Princess Lashes are good. Really, all of the Essence mascaras are good. It's just about finding the one that suits your preference. I like more volume, so What the Fake is a really, really good one for me, but also Princess Lash works very well. They're really affordable and there's so many options. And mascara is one of those products that you have to replace so frequently. Every 3 months, once it's opened, you get 3 months and it has to go in the garbage. So you might as well get an affordable one because really, the high-end ones don't do much different. They're not that special. These are really good. I recommend it. I don't tend to paint my nails too much anymore because I do have the fake acrylics on. But if you do like to paint your nails and you're looking for an affordable option, Sinful Colors is a really good choice. It's usually pretty easy to find. It's accessible from lots of different places. I find it at Walmart, but you can usually also find it at Target. And there's so many choices. You can get like creams and mattes, you can get sparkles, there's top coats. They usually have seasonal ones, so they'll do like Halloween ones around obviously October. I just think they're a really good choice. And I remember they didn't chip too badly on my nails. I chip every nail polish very, very quickly. I am quite rough on my nails, but they did last pretty well, especially for the price. So I think they're a really good choice. Next is a drugstore product that's definitely edging out of drugstore pricing and into the more mid to high end range, and that is the Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer. I have mine in the original shade, which I think is just called bronzer. I love this stuff. It is quite expensive for the drugstore, but you do get a lot of product. I use this really consistently and I have not come anywhere close to hitting pan on it. I think it is really, really good. It's a nice sort of semi-satin. It's not quite satin, it's not quite matte. I also really like the smell. I get why other people don't though. It is a pretty strong sort of coconut sunscreen kind of smell, so I get why some people think it's too chemically, but I personally like it. If this fits in your budget, I think this is a really good bronzer. This next product is an absolute staple in my collection. This is the Batiste Dry Shampoo. I have mine in the tropical scent here, but I've used pretty much all of them. This stuff is so good. I have tried so many Sephora dry shampoos and nothing compares. Why would I spend $20, $30, $40 on a dry shampoo when this $6 one does just as good, if not better? It's so good. You can get pretty much every scent. They have different colored ones if you have really dark hair and you're worried about white cast. They have fragrance-free ones, or even the original just sort of smells like baby powder, so it doesn't have a really strong smell. I think these are great and usually very accessible. You can find them at Walmart, Target, CVS. Actually, a lot of grocery stores as well carry it, so I think this stuff's great. I never have them without it. For a skincare mention, I have the e.l.f. Holy Hydration Face Cream. I actually have used this entire pot up. I am waiting to repurchase because I do have some other creams that I want to use up, but I do really, really like this. I think this is a really good moisturizer. It's hydrating, but it's not thick and goopy. It's just soft and creamy. It feels really good on the skin. I think it's great, so highly recommend. I love this stuff. And finally, the NYX Butter Glosses. These are a classic for a reason. There are so many shades to choose from. They range from very light to very deep and everything in between. There's actually quite a few like fun purpley kind of colors as well. They have a really nice pigmentation without being over the top, because sometimes that's tough with glosses. They're really shiny, they're smooth, they feel very comfortable on the lips. They last pretty well for a gloss that's not sticky, but obviously it's a gloss, you will have to reapply. But they're just so nice. They smell pretty good. I don't think it's like a strong smell, I think they just sort of smell creamy. I keep repurchasing it. I'm trying to hold off for now, but I do really like these. I think they're great. That was all 10 of my top drugstore picks. What are your favorite products at the drugstore? Is there anything I'm missing out on? Let me know in the comments down below. I really hope you liked this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up, and I'd love for you to subscribe and to see you back in my next video. Bye!